This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Mallavarachi, read by Soundithavam. The President says that the government is committed to safeguard the rights of the common masses and increase the income of the farming communities. The European Union urges Sri Lanka to lift import restrictions. 1,263 more new COVID cases were reported today. The Public Utilities Commission says there will be no power cuts today. The deadline to apply for the 2021 O-level exams extended. In foreign news, Russia sees room for diplomacy over Ukraine tensions. And in sports, the T20I series between Sri Lanka and Australia will commence the day after tomorrow at the Sydney Cricket Stadium. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that the government will be committed to safeguarding the rights of the common masses and increase the income of the farming communities. Under the vision of prosperity, agriculture has been made the country's priority after resolving the number of persisting issues and shortcomings affecting it. President Rajapaksa made these remarks joining the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana inaugural rally campaign in Anuradhapura today to enlighten the public on the development move launched by the government. Issues such as shortage of water supply and fertilizer for agriculture are being addressed by the government. Failure to make payments to suppliers on time has resulted in the delay in the importation of fertilizers. The absence of a proper market and a price for their produce has rendered the farmers helpless. The President stresses that he will address these issues and will take steps to protect the farming community. The European Union (EU) has strongly urged Sri Lanka to lift forthwith import restrictions that prevent many European products from entering Sri Lanka's market. This was convened during the 24th meeting of the EU-Sri Lanka Joint Commission held yesterday in Brussels. A joint statement issued by the EU and Sri Lanka said the meeting reviewed bilateral relations and entailed an exchange of views and updates on a wide range of topics of bilateral interest, ranging from governance, reconciliation and human rights to trade, development cooperation, climate change and environment, security and counterterrorism, and cooperation in multilateral arena. The meeting provided an opportunity for updates on developments, relevant action and legislative initiatives in the EU and Sri Lanka. The discussions also focused on democracy, the rule of law, human rights and labour rights, and the freedom of expression and association. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Get extra 10 rupees for every dollar and receive a refund of transaction fees up to rupees 1,000 when depositing funds to a rupee account from People's Bank.
The Director General of Health Services has confirmed 36 new coronavirus-related fatalities for yesterday, moving the death toll in the country due to the virus to 15,692. The Health Ministry said Sri Lanka has recorded 1,263 new infections today, increasing the caseload to 621,985. Meanwhile, 11,538 more patients have recovered from COVID-19 infection within the last 24 hours. This brings the number of recoveries to 593,602. At present, 12,727 patients are being treated in the country. That concludes local news.
Get extra 10 rupees for every dollar and receive a refund of transaction fees up to rupees 1,000 when depositing funds to a rupee account from People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Public Utilities Commission (PUCSL) says that the demand for electricity in the country can be met today with the available capacity. Accordingly, the chairman of the PUCSL, Janaka Ratnayaka, says that there will be no power shedding today. He, however, appealed to the members of the public to restrict the use of electricity between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. and that came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalopa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight tonight, the deadline for submitting applications for the 2021 GCE Ordinary Level Examination has been extended once again. The Commissioner General of Examinations, LMD Dharmasena, said the closing date of the applications for the examination is now the 17th of February. Private candidates can submit their applications online through the official website of the department, www.donets.lk, mobile app Exam Sri Lanka, or via www.onlineexams.gov.lk/EIC by following the given instructions and guidelines. The applications of school candidates should also be sent online using the username and the password already provided to the principals of their schools. All candidates are requested to keep a printed copy of the application with them. The exam is scheduled to take place from the 23rd of May to the 1st of June. And that came to you in Watchlight. Moving on to a bulletin of world news making headlines tonight. Russia sees room for diplomacy over Ukraine tensions. Major breakthrough on nuclear fusion energy. An Indian army rescues Kerala trekker trapped in hill crevice for 48 hours. Russia's EU ambassador has told the BBC his country still believes diplomacy can help de-escalate the crisis over Ukraine. Vladimir Shivtsov said his country had no intention of invading anybody, but warned it was important not to provoke Russia into changing its mind. It comes after a flurry of diplomatic activity on Monday and Tuesday. Russia has repeatedly denied any plans to invade Ukraine. European scientists say they have made a major breakthrough in their quest to develop practical nuclear fusion, the energy process that powers the stars. The UK-based Jet Laboratory has smashed its own world record for the amount of energy it can extract by squeezing together two forms of hydrogen. If nuclear fusion can be successfully created on Earth, it holds out the potential of virtually unlimited supplies of low-carbon, low-radiation energy. The experiments produced 59 megajoules of energy over 5 seconds. Mountaineers from the Indian Army have rescued an injured trekker who was stranded without food and water for nearly 48 hours in the cleft of a steep hill in the southern Indian state of Kerala. R. Babu, 23, slipped and fell into the crevice on Monday while on a hike with 3 friends. This morning, the Indian Army finally made contact with him. The Army personnel who conducted the rescue operation reached near R. Babu and gave him water and food. Back to the headlines of the world news. Russia sees room for diplomacy over Ukraine tensions. Major breakthrough on nuclear fusion energy. An Indian Army rescues Kerala trekker trapped in hill crevice for 48 hours. That concludes this bulletin of world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
The power supply across Sri Lanka has reached almost 100%. In order to cover the rural areas, plans are afoot to use off-grid electricity systems as it is economically advantageous. Following President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's program discussion with the village held in Mimure last year, State Minister Duminda Dissanayake is currently in the process of providing renewable energy to 3 remote villages located in the Knuckles Reserve in Minipe in the Hasalaka Divisional Secretarial Division. State Minister Dissanayake says that this is the first solar PV battery storage hybrid mini-grid system to be installed in Sri Lanka. This provides solar electricity to Madakale, Galamuduna and Udagaldebokka hamlets, where around 100 low-income families are suffering from many hardships due to the lack of electricity, and came to you in Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank, we present your future.
Kusal Mendis, who is touring with the Sri Lanka's national team in Australia, has tested positive for COVID-19. Mendis was found to be positive during a routine rapid antigen test (RAT) carried out the day before yesterday. The result of the RAT was confirmed following a PCR test which was carried out on the same day. Mendis is currently undergoing COVID-19 protocols and placed in isolation since Monday. The T20I series with Sri Lanka and Australia will commence on the 11th of this month at the Sydney Cricket Stadium and came to you in sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Ceylon Fisheries Corporation and Uber Eats announced a partnership to facilitate the delivery of CFC products on the popular online food delivery platform. This makes Uber Eats the first and only online marketplace to sell CFC products. This partnership will bring the public and private sectors closer for improved efficiency and consumer experience. That's business news, economic news up next.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Sri Lanka will not default on foreign obligations and a restructure of bond is not needed, the central bank said, as foreign reserves fell and speculation rose about the ability to service foreign debt. The central bank said it would assure the local and international investor community and the public that the government and the CBSL are committed to honour all forthcoming debt obligations and thereby maintain Sri Lanka's unblemished record of debt servicing. Analysts have urged the central bank to raise rates and also float the currency to stop the sale of reserves for imports and help rebuild reserves. That's economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
On to the weather report to conclude. The Met Department says cloudy skies will prevail over the northern and eastern provinces. Showers and thundershowers will occur at times in the northern, north central, eastern and Uva provinces and in the Hambantota and Matale districts. Showers and thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere during the evening or night. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places. To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. The President says that the government is committed to safeguard the rights of the common masses and increase the income of the farming communities. The European Union urges Sri Lanka to lift import restrictions. 1,263 new COVID cases were reported today. The Public Utilities Commission says there will be no power cuts today. The deadline to apply for the 2021 O-level exams extended. Russia sees room for diplomacy over Ukraine tensions. The T20I series between Sri Lanka and Australia will commence the day after tomorrow at the Sydney Cricket Stadium. That concludes tonight's news broadcast.